Hey there, everyone. I'm the tent guy. Today I have Chelsea on with, her company's Thors Mobile Bar, but she teaches people how to, run a mobile bar business. All her links are in the description. She has a gigantic TikTok following, so check that out because there's tons of information there. And we'll get to her one-on-one coaching after. But how you doing, Chelsea?
I'm well, and I just, hey, I really appreciate you having me on here to give me an opportunity to just talk about what we do. So this is really cool.
Yeah, I appreciate you being on. And yeah, your TikTok is, everyone go check it out. Links in the description. It's kind of crazy over there. But anyways, you have a mobile bar.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a mobile bar, which you guys watching, you may have seen. They're different concepts, but we're going to talk probably about both of them.
Yeah.
The various different business models. But why don't you give an introduction on how you got into this?
Sure. So long story short, so I own Thors Mobile Bar. We're based out of Fort Worth, Texas. And we are actually just about to celebrate our 1-year anniversary. So it's kind of crazy to see, what's happened and, over the scope of a year and where we're at now and where we're going. But we got into this because I wanted to be my own boss, and I was scared for a long time to take a leap of faith and actually believe myself and do something. But I was like, I got this crazy idea. I've always wanted to own a food truck, but I didn't want to get into doing the licenses and, that whole 9 yards. And so I was like, okay, well, I want a food truck, but I also like to drink. So let's just, let's see what we can do with that. And so, I was like, you know what, let's just full send it. And, rest is history. So we, my boyfriend, Kenny, and I, so he's also my partner in all this, but, we did some research, didn't find a lot of stuff that we could use starting out. So we felt like we were going in blind. And so as we kept going along, we're like, hey, let's just, take pictures and record or process. And, of course, we had a lot of learning along the way. And so we got up and going and just started trying to make it. And then just posting on TikTok just for fun. And sure enough, we had not just a few people, but we had thousands of people all over the world who were commenting on our stuff and be like, oh my gosh, how'd you do that? Can you share? And then from there, it just took off. So now, bartending is still a big chunk of what we do, but we also added in coaching. We also, now we have mocktail kits and, we're only looking to expand from here. So it's really cool to see how all that kind of came together in such a short amount of time.
So you got the compact trailer, and when you're on your TikTok, you guys show that you actually tore it apart and rebuilt it.
Yeah.
What are the different models, the kinds of things that you could do? It's called mobile bar, so it's got to be something mobile, but you have a trailer. What else is there?
Let's talk about the different kinds of mobile bars. First and foremost, you have the trailer. This is mine. We took the vintage route because we wanted a challenge, and boy, we sure got it. But it's beautiful. And then another popular one is the horse trailers. But these are our friends at Detroit Mobile Bar, and we aspire to be them because they always decorate so cute and they're amazing. And then we got our friends at Jack and Julep. They have a double window going on, and this is one of the biggest mobile bars I've seen, but it's a great concept. Second category is vehicles. So these are our friends at Tap Truck, and they restore these beautiful vintage pickup trucks, and then they put taps on the side. They have all sorts of different ones in all different cities. Super cool. They're amazing. These ones are becoming increasingly popular. It's the Italian style, arpeggio carts, but they're super small, super great for indoor and outdoor spaces. Here's another example from She's All Tap, also super cute. And then these ladies at Luca and Livy, they don't necessarily do cocktails, but they do have a tap on their bike, and this thing goes everywhere.
Besides all the different kinds of trailers, again, vintage, you said you had the horse trailer. We've seen cargo and utility trailers. But some of the other favorite people that we've met who do this, they have vehicles. For instance, our friends at the Tap Truck, they restore vintage trucks, and they're so darn cool. And then they'll just put the taps on the side of them. We've seen that. We've seen people do carts. We have a friend even here in Dallas, and they have a bike with a tap on it, which I thought was pretty cool. And then we have there's the pop-up style, so foldable boards, and they put a piece of wood on top, decorated all nice and cute, and then they can go anywhere with just that. So
right. Yes, like I said, we did the horse trailer. And one of your TikTok videos, someone has a nice new trailer with 2 windows that they converted. So there's literally endless options to do this.
Well, and I think that's so cool too, because it's like, I just, now, I mean, we're still really new to all this. I mean, like there's been people like yourself who have been doing this for a lot longer than we have. And it's just really cool to see the creativity and the different outlets that people have done to make this happen. I mean, to be honest, I probably wouldn't have even thought of half of those had I not
Right.
seen it, nowadays. So
I just thought, I haven't seen, maybe you have, has anyone done like an Airstream?
I've seen one Airstream, and I believe they're based out of Denver. But they wrapped the whole thing, and then they had they like half of it was the bar, and then half they made like a seating area.
Oh,
And
that's
I
cool.
thought that was the coolest thing. So now, of course, that's on my bucket list to do if we ever open another trailers to do an Airstream.
Right. No, that would be cool. I always wanted to get an Airstream. I do party rentals. I want to do an Airstream as a bridal suite.
That would be cool. That
Yeah,
would be
for
cool.
off-site and field weddings. But so there's different like business models. What is your business model? Like, what does your business do?
Oh man, we do so much.
Right.
I mean, specify a little bit more, because with everything else that we do and what.
Okay, so the people that watch my channel know that mine, we just built it and we rent it out. We just, for $600 plus delivery, we just drop it off at the location. They have a caterer or something. So it's a little different. It's not really a mobile bar business. It's just a piece of my rental inventory.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So of course, so we do it a little bit differently. We're with the trailer 24/7, all up to, we kind of work with our customers to be like, hey, what exactly are you looking for, to make sure like we're accommodating them the best that we can. So 9 times out of 10, it's like, hey, like we're going to pull up, you're going to, help us make sure we're in the right place of how you envisioned us. Like we'll break out, we'll get everything set up and start doing some decor and whatnot. Do that, set up, work, clean up, and then we're out. So pretty standard.
So you actually serve the drinks.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
We have, so Kenny, he'll get involved too when he needs to, but we do have a team of bartenders that we rely on a lot. But we don't have, like, I'm always with the trailer no matter what, because it's just, for me, that's probably one of the things I need to get more comfortable with as we keep growing. But I like to make sure there's no damage that occurs to it. So it's it's my baby, it's my pride and joy.
Yeah. So what is the logistics of that like? Like when you were building your trailer, did you put in a freezer and fridge, or do you bring a big thing of ice?
Yeah.
Do you provide the mixed drinks, or not the mixed drinks, but the mixers and stuff?
Kenny and I had one heck of a time trying to get our trailer up to where it needed to be, like not just code wise, but just how we envisioned it to be, with having a good flow on the inside. So we have like our main service counter. I think it's like 8 feet long. It's fairly large for our trailer. And then we have like a pedestal kind of in the back. So if you come up to our service window, you can see in and see we have 2 mini fridges that we use for like garnishes, storage, and extra things that need to stay chilly. And then we do have a 5 cubic square foot ice chest in there too, because I mean, like you got like down in Florida, it's like it gets hot here. So like we've had some really large events where, we need to keep stuff cold for a period of time. And so we felt that was appropriate, especially with the space that we had in there. And then, if we needed, we have space for coolers underneath like our service area, in like our bar prep. But for the most part, it's pretty simplistic compared to a lot of other mobile bars that I've seen. Just in that I like to think it's a pretty open concept in there. Like, we don't have anything like no cabinets or nothing. It's just like, it's put in there very, it's open to anyone who can see in. But we do also have one of the commercial margarita machines. Okay. And we do have a space for it in our trailer, but to be honest, we don't use it nearly as much as we thought. And plus it weighs almost 100 pounds. So, and we do have to take that in and out of the trailer. So it's like, we have room for that too, but it is what it is.
Right. I personally hate those things because like, they're expensive, they're heavy, they're not made to like be moved around. And also like, it kind of needs to be relatively cooler in the environment, because if it's too hot, things never going to freeze.
Yeah. And of course we found that out the hard way with ours. And I mean, it is what it is. Like, it's great. We've rented it out a few times, especially for like bridal showers and baby showers. Like we have a portable bar that we'll set up with some glassware out there and get that thing to freeze. But it's definitely one of those expenses I don't think I would have done again starting out. I would have waited and really grown on that.
Right. That's a good tip. So people are coming up to there. You're either at a party, or I see you do a lot of HOAs or like other kind of events. What's the glassware situation like? Are you giving them glassware? Is it plastic?
Pretty much our standard is plasticware, just because it's easy. We do offer glassware as an upgrade service. And mostly it's just weddings that rent it out, if they, have a more upscale taste that they want. So we'll do that too. But it's been fun trying to, make sure we have enough for that for, the amount of people, and then
Right.
make sure we have because we have like a little dishwasher to make sure we're turning, just as fast as we're cranking out drinks. So we always have to bring on an extra bartender or like a bar back just to, help us stay on top of that throughout some events. So
Is that a little more difficult when it's real glassware because the people probably aren't bringing them back? Do you have to like go hunt them down?
Yeah, when we coordinate that, so we also provide some cocktail tables. And so whoever, if we do have that glassware, that other person, like that's just part of their role for the evening, is they're going to also go be bussing those tables, watching for our glassware. But very early on in the process, if we work some of those events and we're like, hey, are you going to have a caterer? And is the caterer going to provide glassware? Because if they say yes, then we will not provide it. Because I've had instances where we've mixed up glasses, and that's a pain because it's like,
Right.
I want my own stuff and I don't want to have to, reach out to them and be like, hey, can I have my glasses back?
Yeah.
And so it's just really kind of navigating that very early on and having those conversations, just to be able to still give the client what they envision, but still be like, okay, well, let's reel this in.
I was looking at your website. You do mocktails and hard drinks if they provide the liquor.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, everyone who's watching is going to be asking this question, and it's not the easiest question to answer.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to ask it anyways. Like, how do you serve liquor? Is it on you? Do you need the license? Do they bring it? Do you buy it? All those things.
Sure. Yeah. So, and like you said, it does vary state by state. Here in Texas, so Texas, I like to think, has a pretty lenient law when it comes to this. When we are hired, we're dry hire, right? So like you said, like they're going to be providing any alcohol they want served. But the way that we do service really depends on if we're getting hired out to do private events or if we're getting hired out to do like sell drinks individually. So like farmers markets, festivals, things that route, or even like the HOA events that we work, we'll sell stuff individually. So when we do that route, we are strict because we don't carry a liquor license, right? We only sell mocktails and non-alcoholic stuff, beverages. And that's okay. Like we just tell people that up front, be like, hey, this is our thing. If you want to hire us out for, your next party, I was like, then we can have that conversation and we'll tell you how this works and we'll bring it. You'll provide it, but we'll bring all the other stuff. But yeah, no, with Texas, if you get hired out for a private event, as long as it's provided, we're hired as a bartending service. And then we just serve it. But with that, we still have to provide, like everyone on our team, whoever touches alcohol has to be TABC certified here just to serve. And as well as we do have to provide proof of liquor liability insurance. And that's just to cover our booty just in case.
Right. Now, I had a question when I was watching your HOA videos. Mm-hmm. That's families and stuff. And I couldn't see anywhere, but how do you communicate that you're at an HOA or family thing that, hey, we're mocktails over here. Your kids can come over and get drinks. Is there like a sign or?
We've done it both ways, actually. So like we have one HOA that we work with frequently. And up front, because they always bring in another food truck too, but we have a sign we put right up front where we say, hey, non-alcoholic beverages tonight. Here's what's on our menu. And then we'll narrow it down to like 3 beverages and then have sodas and lemonade and stuff. But honestly, a lot of the time the kids, they get so excited. They're like, I'm an adult, we'll just say like, hey, we'll serve Shirley Temples or, things that our kids kind of know about and enjoy that way. So
how do you market? You have your TikTok, but that's kind of like teaching people about the business. How would someone market locally for this?
Yeah. So my favorite thing is I like to infiltrate the Facebook groups. Okay. More specifically, like the wedding groups, especially like here, because there's always, brides and grooms cycling through the group. So even you can always introduce yourself every like 6 months or whatever the group rules allow. We utilize things like with kids, like if we're in PTA groups, we're like, hey, like friendly stuff, or even the neighborhood app. That's been my favorite one lately.
Oh, nice.
And I don't like, we don't do paid advertising on there. We're just like, hey, this is what we do. And we've even had some people reach out and convert and hire us. So that's been fun. Otherwise, we do utilize like the Chamber of Commerce in those networking groups like that. So,
right. Do you do Google, like SEO, Google AdWords?
Yeah, we do. Depending on the season, like we do promote like Google ads. We've done some like Facebook and Instagram ads too, but we just stick to Google. That's where we've seen the majority of our leads. Oh, and the not.com. We've been on there. We've done some advertising with them, but mostly just Google. That's been our strongest since we started.
Yeah, and there's a cool thing happening where there's more and more mobile bars. So more people are seeing that it exists. So then they search for it. Like in the beginning, I imagine it was kind of hard for the first few companies to get it out. But as it's become this like consciousness thing, now they search for it.
Right. Well, and there was a conversation I had with a gentleman a while back, and he created a website called findmobilebars.com, and it lists out all the mobile bars that he knows of in all the states. And so that's kind of cool because I've used that to even like track down some competitors and see like where they're at and like where their service area is. So,
Right.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, I feel like, we're kind of to blame for that, with bringing other people on and saying like, hey, here's another great idea for you. To start a mobile bar business. I guess it'll be interesting to see like how it keeps growing this year and then going into next year.
You get a lot of questions, but your time is pretty valuable. When I was building my mobile bar, a lot of people were contacting me, asking me stuff, and I just found like, man, I don't have time for this. I can't be answering all these questions. It just takes a lot of time. So you have coaching, which is very helpful for someone because there's so many questions. What does your coaching entail?
So let me tell you the story of how this kind of came to be. So throughout last year, we created an online course, helping people to get started. But what I'd found is that it wasn't, for two things. One, it wasn't giving me the fulfillment that I was helping people enough. But two, laws were changing. And so in order to stay on top of that, we reeled it back and we're like, hey, let's do some more, like get some one-on-one time with our clients and our followers. And really give them a little bit more than what they were getting out of that course. So now it's all kind of tied together. But with the coaching, what it entails, it doesn't matter where you're at in the process, whether, hey, this is just an idea, or, you bought a trailer, you're starting the renovation and you're trucking, or if you're already open for business. Where I come in is, and most of my clients now, they've hired me to like right as they're in the middle of their renovation phase over their grand opening to a few months after to be in that problem solving phase. But what it entails is like you get full access to me and my brain. Basically all of our lessons learned, how to become more efficient before you even start, mistakes based off of, everyone else that we've been working with, as well as it's weekly access. We're going to talk about more than just mobile bars. Part of that is mindset. I've seen a lot of people transition from very high paying careers into this. So, really trying to navigate how to make up the difference in pay or, just taking a chance on themselves because they want to be their own boss, but they're scared to leave their current job. So it's just everything. And then I also give away a bunch of spreadsheets, resources. It's like a whole suite of resources that way. And then, of course, on top of that, then they get access to the video vault, which was previously the online course that we offered.
Right. Yeah, I don't like online courses because to me, it just seems like what you said, it's not fulfilling you. It's like so a lot of people just make this thing, throw it out there, and then want to make money off of it. Whereas people like you and some other people I talk to, they do it a little smaller groups or one-on-one, and then it's more authentic to them. And I appreciate that kind of like dedication to it. It's not just a money grab.
Yeah. And I think part of it too is just accountability in a way, because it's like, yes, I need to get this done and I need to hit my launch date. But what I like to do is like, I'll bring in some extra oversight and be like, hey, like based off of the timeline that you set, like we're going to create some, like there's going to be task items that people have to do. But I'm just making sure like they're not missing any steps, whether that be on a federal level, on a state level, just, making sure they're absolutely compliant and setting themselves up for success while they can still focus on doing, the fun stuff with the trailer and getting that,
Right.
Whatever they choose for their bar. So it's not me like holding their hand, but it's me like, being their hype squad as they get up and going.
Right. So if you had to learn other states, because like people are going to obviously get a hold of you from other states, like you knew Texas, but now you're like having to learn all the other states.
Yeah. So I'd say right now, like 50% of my clients are based in Texas, it's convenient.
Right.
But I've coached people in California, Michigan, Florida, about this time one in Georgia. So it's been, for me, it's really interesting because it keeps me on my toes. Plus I get to learn more about the industry and what, is required of bars in other states so that I can take that back to our community that we built and be like, hey, here's something else that I didn't know and I'm happy to share. So.
Right. You mentioned mistakes and lessons learned that you could teach people. Let's not give them all away, but how about one?
Man, this is going to come as a no-brainer. I'm a little embarrassed to say it. But if you are going to do a trailer, put an air conditioning unit in it. That's something that we didn't do early on. And I felt bad for our team because we had fans all over the place in there, but it just got so chaotic and it got a little too toasty. So especially when you go into the heat of the summer, you got to take care of your team. So
yeah, it's just a box sitting there.
I mean, so let me ask you a question in the meantime then. I guess what has been one of the most rewarding things about your mobile bar and, the process that you guys have had all up to this point?
So mine's different. There's nothing really rewarding about it unless someone says, hey, let's book it. And we get $600 for just dropping something off. I guess the rewarding thing was just the day it was done. When I finished it, I was like, yeah, this thing's pretty. We made our bar top fold down so it folds up when we're not using it and transporting it. And I used local beer caps and did a resin thing. So it's really cool. I just think it looks cool and pretty and just neat. And everyone who gets it really likes it. Yeah. And it was a good COVID project. That's when I decided to do it. So I was just in the warehouse alone. Couldn't have anyone there really. And built the thing.
Yeah. I think that's a really cool way to go about it. It's really unique to, especially like you said, use the local taps. I mean, that's special.
Yeah, I like doing resin stuff. Well, that's a good question. What has been rewarding for you about this business?
Man, I think to be honest, it's given me a level of confidence that I didn't know I had in me, and brought me out of my comfort zone. So with that, like I've always felt myself to be pretty hardcore introvert. But of course, like, being bartending is like, you've got to be a little bit out of your shell and you're always talking to people and, looking for opportunities. And I think that's been probably one of the coolest things because it's like now I try to talk to everybody I can and be like, hey, how you doing? Hey, you got something coming up? We got you, just
Right.
really working on that. But more so tying that into the coaching is, now I got to help people, not just, in the country, but I've been working with somebody in Australia lately. So it's like now this is going all over the world. And so I think just helping people set themselves up for success and just hearing their stories of, why they decided to do this and where they wanted to take them and, just go like that. I think that's been really cool.
Right. I feel you on that. I'm kind of introverted. But in this business, doing rentals and stuff or owning any business, you're extroverted where you need to be.
Exactly. That's a good way to put it.
And it's, yeah, like I'm a different businessman than I am private. So I feel you on that. All right. So what is your future goals, future plans for this?
You ready for this? We got some big ones.
Yeah.
Okay. So this year we're looking at opening a physical permanent location. So whether that's going to be like an office slash warehouse that, we can use to prep, or it's going to be either like a sober bar, because that's something, we're passionate about the non-alcoholic movement. So doing something like that, because Fort Worth doesn't have something like that right now. That's when we're looking at franchising, which that's been something I never saw coming, and opening a whole bunch of other trailers. Probably not here in Dallas, Fort Worth, but we are looking at some other markets that, we think have some great potential. We are I'm looking to step out of the whole bartending side completely and bring on one of our other bartenders. So she does like business development and community outreach for us and is phenomenal. Like I can tell you with confidence, like our business would not be where it's at right now without her. So I wanted to bring her on full time and take over basically our bar operations. And then she can run that and I can focus on coaching in our mocktail kits. And with the mocktail kits, we're getting it to the point where it can be a subscription service, but we're not there yet. So still got some work.
Right. So for everyone watching, if you do the franchise, that will be linked in the description, how to get in contact with her to like maybe join a franchise. And the thing about a franchise is you're buying into something that already has brand awareness. And I can already confidently tell everyone that you already have brand awareness. Just go look at her TikTok. It's got, 24,000 people?
Something like that.
Yeah. And in one video you mentioned there was like 100,000 people who were like asking questions and stuff. So yeah, brand awareness is already built in, and that's one of the reasons you get into a franchise. And again, all of Chelsea's links: Thors Mobile Bar, one-on-one coaching, mocktails. Am I forgetting anything?
I don't think so. That's
okay. That's all going to be.
Yeah.
That's all going to be down in the description. Oh, your TikTok and Instagram will be down in there as well. Chelsea, thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Can't wait to meet some of you guys. So
awesome. All right, have a good one.
You too.